Hello everyone. So topic of today's video is modification of taproot. In previous video I have given a lecture on the regions of the root and the types of root. So in this video we are starting with its modification. Now before that we should know what is the primary function of root. So in primary function there are three major functions. One, it encourages plant in soil. So also it helps in support. Second, transportation of water and mineral by absorbing it. Fine. What it does, it absorbs the water and mineral and then it transports it to the other parts of the plant. So basically these are the primary function of root. Now what happens sometimes, the roots apart from this perform some other functions like for storage of food, respiration, nitrogen fixation and reproduction. Fine. So these are the modified functions of the root. So we are going to study about the modification in case of taproot and later on we will be talking about the modification of adventitious root. So one by one we will be taking it. First one is storage of food. So in this category, the taproot is modified for the function of storing food. So when it stores food, the surface area and the volume of the root increases. It swells to store the nutritive material. So in this category, number one is fusiform root. Example of this will be radish. Fine. So you will see the structure of radish. It is like this. Fine. Here, this two ends will be narrow and the center portion of this root will be thick, or you can say swelling. Fine. So in fusiform type of taproot, you will find the two ends will be narrow as compared to the center one. This is the fusiform and you will see that this portion from where the leaves are coming, as these leaves are connected directly to the root, they will be called as radical leaf, and this portion is called as condensed stem. The portion which is acting as a storage of food, this is the primary root. And from this primary root, you will see secondary roots are developing. So these are secondary roots. Fine. So the fleshy part of fusiform root will be the primary taproot and it will be narrow at both the end and it will be thicker in the center. So this kind of taproot is known as fusiform. The next one is the conical root. The second one is conical root, and the example of it is carrot. Now, understand this. By seeing this structure, you will observe that the structure is conical in shape. That is why we say or we call it as the conical root. Now, again from this, radical leaves are coming out. So, these are radical leaf. This is reduced or condensed stem. The food where it is stored in the root is the primary portion of the root, primary root, from which you will see that secondary roots are developing. These are secondary roots. Fine. So what you have observed here, the upper portion or you can call it as base is broad and it gradually tapers towards the end. So end is narrow. Fine. So this gives the carrot as a conical shape. That is why we call it as a conical root. So these are the two forms. Next forms are napiform root, and the very well known example, that is beetroot. Fine. Here in this case, the base is very broad and swollen, and it gives gradual. It's not a gradual narrowing or tapering. It is a sudden tapering in this case. Fine. So this is the base or upper portion which is broad, or you can say swollen, and this is thread-like end or lower part. Fine. So broad, the upper part, and it suddenly tapers towards the end, and from this you will see the secondary roots are coming. Same like you have seen in case of carrot and radish. It will also have the leaves, radical leaves, and the condensed or reduced stem. This is the example of napiform root. Next and the last is the first one I told you, first one is fusiform, second one is the conical, third is napiform, and fourth is tuberous. Tuberous root, example is 4 o'clock plant, and its scientific name is Mirabilis jalapa. Fine. As it is a scientific name, don't forget to underline this. Here in this case, the structure is having no definite swelling. Fine. You will find it is having irregular shape. So this kind of structure you will see in case of this plant, and this the structure which is having not a definite structure, not a definite shape, this root is known as tuberous root. So in total, in modification of taproot for the purpose of storage of food, we have learnt about 4 categories. One is fusiform, the example is radish. Second is conical, example is carrot. Napiform, example is beetroot, and tuberous root, the example is Mirabilis jalapa. So this is for the function of storage of food. Now I will move to the next modification of the root, that is the respiration. Before that, please take the screenshot. Okay, so Now, the next is the purpose of respiration. Such roots are also called as respiratory roots or pneumatophores. Fine. Pneumato, here P is silent. So in case of this kind of root, you will find that, as you know, roots are positively geotrophic or positively hydrotrophic, and they are negatively phototrophic. What happens in this case of root? This is the ground. Root is like this, primary root, and the roots will start developing like this. From here, few roots will start moving towards the sunlight. Means these roots are positively phototropic. Positively phototrophic roots. Why this happens? Because these kind of roots you will find in the plants which are halophytes. I told you in my previous lecture, halophytes are those plants which grows in marshy areas. So, as in general in terrestrial area, you will see that between the soil particles you will see air is present. So, this root can take up the air from the soil, from the space between the soil particles. When in marshy areas are those areas which are waterlogged. Means you will find water between the soil particles. So from where these roots will take up the air. So in those cases, the root will start moving towards the sunlight. Means opposite to the normal primary roots. And these roots will be having pores on it. So they are vertically grows upward. Vertically upward. These particles, these pores on the roots are called as lenticels or pneumatodes. Pneumatodes are the pores which helps in taking up the air. So this is how respiratory root works, and they are present in the marshy areas. Example of this will be mangrove trees. Fine. Mangrove trees or rhizophora, you will find such kind of respiratory roots in these trees. So we have done the storage of food, respiration. Now the next one is nitrogen fixation. So you have heard about this in case of leguminous plants. Means beans, pea. हम बोलते हैं ना घरों में जब भी फूड बनता है मम्मी क्या बोलती है, दाल जरूर खाना. Because these pulses, these grains are having a high amount of protein, and the proteins are made up of amino acids, and amino acids are having nitrogen in it. Fine. So this nitrogen is very important for formation of amino acid, and amino acid is very important for formation of protein. So what happens in nitrogen fixation? The plant and the roots which helps in nitrogen fixation are called as nodulated roots. So here you will see primary root, secondary, tertiary roots are coming, and you will see burst structure, dotted bead-like structures on the roots of the leguminous plants, and these are root nodule. So in this root nodule, rhizobium, it's a bacteria. In these nodules, rhizobium bacteria is present, and these bacteria are the personal bacteria of leguminous plants, which helps them in the nitrogen fixation. And I have told you why fixation of nitrogen is so important for the plants. Now what happens in case of nodules, root nodules, when first of all, if I magnify this structure, let me use the black pen only. If you will see this structure, this is also a root. The bacteria, I am drawing the bacteria with red color. So you will see these bacteria will keep on dividing near the root hairs of the root. Then they will secrete some chemical, due to which these root will be curved. They will like this, and this helps the bacteria to enter into the root hairs like this. This kind of infection is known as infection thread. Okay, so again I am repeating it. First of all, the bacteria will come near the root hairs. They will secrete a chemical, due to which the shape of the root hair will change. Their their cell wall will become thin, due to which it will be very easy for the bacteria to enter in the root hairs. As they enter in a line, this is called as infection thread. Now, these bacteria will reach up to the cortex zone or the cortex tissues of the root. There they will stimulate the cells to divide quickly, and they will form a nodule. Fine. So I have magnified this structure. So you will see the nodule formation will be there due to a sudden large amount of cell division. These bacteria, they will be in center of the root nodule. Fine. The bacteria will be accommodated in the center. These bacteria are having a very important enzyme known as nitrogenase enzyme. Remember this? This is a very important question for NEET. Fine. So, rhizobium bacteria is having an enzyme which is known as nitrogenase enzyme, which helps in nitrogen fixation. And these enzymes are very sensitive. Fine. Sensitive to oxygen. So, to protect these bacteria from oxygen, so that it should not hamper the action of nitrogenase enzyme, there is a pigment around the bacteria in the nodules, which are called as, let me draw, hope it is visible to you all, like this. A pink color pigment which is known as lead hemoglobin. Fine. Leg hemoglobin is a pink color pigment which is present in root nodules around the bacteria, which is also known as these leg hemoglobin. Leg means leguminous. Fine. So these are the pigment which are also called as oxygen scavenger. They take up the oxygen and they never allow oxygen to reach up to the bacteria, and you know bacteria is having so important enzyme which is sensitive to oxygen. So it is free of oxygen. It is able to form some nitrogen fixation, and then nitrogen fixation will help in formation of amino acid and later on protein. So this is how these roots helps in nitrogen fixation, and it is a modification of taproot. So next, after nitrogen fixation, this is the third modification. After this, the last one is reproduction. Before that, you please take the screenshot. So let's start with the last modification, that is the modification for the purpose of reproduction. So roots also helps in reproduction. The example is Delbergia ciso. It is a sesame plant. We use the wood of that plant for making furniture and household things. So in this plant, the root in this tree root helps in reproduction. How? This is the main primary root. From that, a bud will develop like this. This bud is known as radical bud, and this bud, from this bud you will see a new plant seedling will start growing, and later on this bud will detach from the main root and it will develop into a new tree from a stage of small plants. Fine. So as this root helps in reproduction, this is not its primary function, it is a modified function. So today what we have read the modification of taproot. The taproot is modified for the purpose of storage of food, in which we have learned about 4 categories: fusiform, conical, third one is tuberous, and nepiform. Then second category is respiration. The respiratory root are also known as pneumatophores. You will find such roots in the trees or the plants which grows in marshy areas. Then third one is nitrogen fixation. These kind of nodulated roots you will find in case of leguminous plants. These leguminous plants are having nodules in the roots, and those nodules are having rhizobium bacteria. This is a kind of eubacteria, and these bacteria are having very special enzyme nitrogenase which helps in nitrogen fixation, and these enzymes are very sensitive to oxygen. So to protect them from oxygen, around them, surrounding them, there is a hemoglobin kind, leg hemoglobin pigment is present which is of pink color, and that is also known as oxygen scavenger. So these accepts the oxygen and it will not allow the oxygen to reach up to nitrogenous enzyme. And the last one is for the purpose of reproduction. You will see this kind of roots in case of Delbergia ciso. Here the primary root will give rise to a small radical bud, and that bud will give rise to the new plant. So these are the root modification of taproot. Now in next video I will be giving you a lecture on modification of adventitious root, and same in that also we will go through many different categories. So till then, keep learning, be safe, take care and goodbye.